It was the height of the Cold War. While the world's eyes were fixed on nuclear weapons and rockets, deep inside Soviet laboratories, another kind of experiment was unfolding. One that would shock the world, blur the line between life and death, and leave a disturbing legacy in the history of science. This was the story of the USSR's dog head transplants. It began in the 1920s with Soviet scientist Sergei Brukhonenko. Obsessed with conquering death, he built a crude heart-lung machine called the autojector. In a chilling demonstration, Brukhonenko kept a severed dog's head alive on the machine. Audiences watched in disbelief as the head blinked, licked its nose, and even reacted to sound, despite being completely separated from its body. The footage, later shown in a film titled Experiments in the Revival of Organisms in 1940, was both horrifying and groundbreaking. Brukhonenko had proved it was possible, at least briefly, to keep organs alive outside the body. But this was only the beginning. In the late 1940s and 1950s, another Soviet scientist, Vladimir Demikhov, pushed the limits even further. His goal wasn't to shock. It was to pioneer techniques that might someday make heart and lung transplants possible. But the way he tested those techniques would make him infamous. Demikhov became known for his experiments in creating two-headed dogs. He surgically grafted the head, shoulders, and front legs of one small dog onto the body of a larger dog. To the horror of witnesses, both heads could blink, lap water, and even drink milk at the same time. For days, the transplanted head would respond to its environment, licking its nose, trying to bark, before the body inevitably rejected the graft. Some of these creatures lived only a few days. Others survived for weeks. The longest lasted an astonishing 29 days. News of Demikhov's experiment spread quickly. When foreign scientists visited his Moscow lab in the 1950s, they were shocked. Some dismissed him as a madman. Others quietly admitted that his surgical skill was years ahead of the West. As disturbing as they were, Demikhov's experiments were not without purpose. He was developing techniques for vascular suturing, joining blood vessels so organs could be transplanted successfully. Those very methods would later influence surgeons around the world. In fact, Christian Barnard, the South African doctor who performed the world's first successful human heart transplant in 1967, openly credited Demikhov as his inspiration. But for the animals, there was no glory. The sight of a two-headed dog became a symbol of Soviet mad science, a mix of ambition, brilliance, and cruelty. Outside the USSR, the experiments fueled propaganda battles. Western media painted them as evidence of Soviet barbarity. Yet behind the Iron Curtain, Demikhov was celebrated as a visionary, though one who worked in relative obscurity, often with limited resources. By the 1960s, medical ethics were beginning to shift. Animal rights advocates condemned the grotesque nature of the work. And as human organ transplantation became a reality, Demikhov's controversial creations were gradually left behind in history. Still, his legacy endures. Today, heart, lung, and liver transplants save countless lives every year. Few patients realize that the foundations of modern transplantation surgery were built, in part, on the back of two-headed dogs. So, was this science, or was it cruelty? Were Brukhonenko and Demikhov pioneers of life-saving medicine, or monsters who crossed lines that should never be crossed? One thing is certain. The USSR's dog head transplants remain one of the most bizarre and haunting chapters in medical history. If you enjoyed this chilling story of Soviet science, Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Untold History in 5. We bring you shocking, fascinating, and true tales from the past, all in just 5 minutes. Click the bell icon so you never miss an episode, and tell us in the comments. Do you think these scientists were visionaries or villains? Thanks for watching. Bye.